around 80K per month in dollars. My average month was around like 20K. I would have not known that I capped the market if I didn't talk to you.
It's like just understanding how other people that have achieved the goal I want to achieve think like.
I think you really just helped in every single way possible. You know, every single problem that I faced, you're just like 5-10 steps ahead of where I was.
The tough thing is in this space, it's the equivalent of like the dating market. Most people are just kind of idiots. People claim they do shit and they don't actually do it. Honestly, that's what holds a lot of people back from actually investing in themselves because they think everybody's just jipping everyone. Do you know what I mean? Okay, Theo, welcome to the channel, my friend. How are we doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself, man?
So if you could just give us a 3,000 foot overview for the people that don't know who you are, what do you do? What kind of business do you run? What are the deliverables?
Basically, we work with the medical clinic and we help them get more customers. What we do is we help them generate leads on platforms on social media, basically, and we also call the leads for them, you know, so that they can get like more customers.
Boom, gold standard. You know, it's funny, the amount of people that make so much money with like the fucking typical, we run ads, we call their leads, and like everybody still thinks like it doesn't work anymore. It's kind of funny, actually. It's like sometimes the best model is the model that isn't a shiny object and it's just so boring and obvious that it's been around for so long, but it still makes money, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Just doubling down on where you're at now, revenue-wise, where specifically are you at? Let's look at this month specifically or last month.
We are around 80K per month in dollars. That's roughly what we're doing, like 70 to 80. Yeah, I would say.
Nice. And when you joined the program, where was you? I believe that was, how long ago was that now? Maybe 4 or 5 months ago?
No, it was longer than that. I was like 8 months.
A little bit longer.
It was this summer, so it's almost like a year because I just renewed like last month. So yeah, it was like nine months ago.
Because I still remember when we first connected. I don't know if somebody referred you to me or something, because it was when I first came to Dubai.
Yes.
And you paid me for a one-on-one call. Do you remember?
You were in the cafe.
Yeah. Yeah. But that was literally, I was in Dubai for the first hour.
Yeah.
And we had that call the first time I went.
Initially, I was actually, yeah, someone referred me. It was Sam Arch, because I was in his program initially, and then like Sam went into your program and told me, yeah, this is do it. And then I was like, okay, let's do it. And here I am.
Yeah. Nice. And when you did join, you were like 8 or 9 months ago. Where was you at revenue-wise then? And what were the specific challenges you were facing at that revenue level that you came into the program aiming to solve?
Everything. I just needed to fix everything, basically. But revenue-wise, I was sitting, I think my highest months were there back then was around 30K. But my average month was around like 20K. I was making roughly 20 to 30. So it's been a big jump just in a few months. And when I saw you was around 20 to 30K per month. As far as what I was struggling with, I was struggling with everything. Mostly I was undercharging, so very difficult to scale the business. Wasn't spending a lot of money on ads, so difficult for me to kind of like grow. Churn was through the roof because we didn't really have like a very good process to make clients happy. And then like as I scaled, you know, I fixed like the basics that I just mentioned. I struggle a lot with like scaling, you know, with the operations, with the call center and everything. So your systems really helped, and how to structure the team, your team, you know, at scale, when you have like a lot of clients, who does what hires do you need. So I think you really just helped in every single way possible. You know, every single problem that I faced, you're just like 5-10 steps ahead of where I was. So, and that allowed me to give me some clarity.
Yeah. I mean, I say this to everyone that's ever considered joining our program as well. Like, a second set of eyes is one of the best things you can ever buy in business, especially from somebody that's already climbed the hill that you want to climb. Because it's like, they can tell you, don't go that way, you fucking idiot, go this way or go that way. Like, I know there's been many things, you know, related to like your call center as an example that you would ask on like, how do I compensate? Do I need to hire another one? And like, if you didn't have the second set of eyes, maybe you would have just took the gamble and gone, I think this is the best move. But when you have the second set of eyes say, no, you don't need another one. Just get rid of this, get rid of that, structure the commission like this. Again, you essentially buy speed and you buy mitigating any risk of having to do something and then go back and try it again because you made the wrong move as an example.
Yeah. And for context, like I've been running this agency for like years, you know, it's not like I'm new to the game. So I've been like kind of stagnating for such a long time, or like keeping my agency at such a low amount of growth for maybe like 4 or 5 years before I joined this program. And as soon as I joined this program, it's like a slap, you know, where it's just like, you know, it's like a whole different world. Because I was trying to figure everything on my own. And honestly, it sounds super cliche to say that. I hate it when everybody says that. Like, but it's true, you know, if you got someone that does exactly what you do or like similar to what you do and that can show you the past, that's just going to make your life so much easier. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I know, without getting into the ultra specifics, I know you're in a unique situation where you're in a unique market where the market isn't super big, so you have to expand out. I know we were having a conversation about that from you going from where you are now. What do you think are the next plays for you to get from 80 to, 200, 300, 400, breaking through the 100K a month first? What do you think those things are?
So I think for the market that I'm in, I just need to expand it. You know, there's only so much to do and the market is small. So for me, it's just came to that point where the cost per acquiring new clients is very high because of the limited amount of people that are in my market. So just like going down other verticals that are similar to what I'm doing, so I can spend more on ads. Because the more you spend, obviously, the more clients you get. So that's really going to be it. And just scaling the team, you know, instead of having one closer, getting two closers.
Yep.
Instead of one setter, two setters, just spending it more and then like fixing problem as they happen.
Yeah. And for you, man, at this point, it's really just amplification, to be honest. It's like, you've just got to amplify what you've already got. More of the same team members, more spend. But then importantly as well, like you've done it the right way. You know, most people, what they do is they start and they try and sign clients in like 5 different niches. You penetrated one market. I wouldn't say you fully capped it out, but you're getting to a point where it's exponentially harder to grow at the rate you want to grow. And when you get there, I know so many people that stay stuck there just not knowing what the fuck to do, or they stay exactly where they are.
And again, just I would have not known that I capped the market if I didn't talk to you or like to a mentor, because your insight told me because you spoke to so many agency owners and you kind of know what they're struggling with. When I told you, hey, like I'm just recycling through the same leads, or like my cost per acquisition is too high, you just told me 100% it's a market side issue. And I was like, oh yeah, duh. You know, why did I not like think of this on my own? I would have figured out eventually, but like maybe in 6 months, 12 months. So having someone to just tell you this kind of thing is very valuable.
Yeah. And I say this as well, like once you've capped out a market, there's only 3 ways you can scale. You do horizontal, and then horizontal means either going from one location to another location, expanding geographically, or you can expand niche-wise in the same market. So, you know, you go from roofers to remodelers to hardscaping, and you start to expand that way, or you can go vertical, which is a little bit more complicated. The good thing is about horizontal, if you go for a niche that's very similar, it's quite easy to just do what you're already doing because it's the same thing. Vertical is a little bit more confusing. That would be like, you know, if you're in remodeling, going and working with huge franchises and just those guys and taking rev share, which is like a little bit newer. You're going to need different team members, different structure, different SOPs. It's a little bit messier. So you're doing it the right way. I know you said you were stuck at a similar point for quite a while. That 20 to 30K a month range, was that a point that you were stuck at for a while? How long was you stuck there, if so?
For a while, maybe like a year, I would say that I've been like flirting with like 20 to 30, 33K, I remember. But yeah, it's been about a year, I would say. I was kind of like running in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
And
say.
do you think, because I think one thing that holds people back is like usually a lot of the time, there's 2 reasons. Number one, they know what they need to do and they just don't do it out of fear, out of uncertainty, whatever it may be. Or number 2, they genuinely don't know what to do and they know they need to invest in help, but they kick the can down the road because it's a lot of money in the short term. Yeah. And they can't measure the quantifiable ROI because they know it's on them. Which one of those was it for you in that stage?
Honestly, I think I was a bit comfortable. I had a little bit of savings,
Yeah.
you know, so I just didn't have that massive urgency where I was like, I need to make it. And then I guess my savings ran out and I was like, okay, like let's grow the thing. I remember around not that December, but the December of previous year, I was really considering quitting. I was really like, oh, this is not for me. This is not my passion
Yeah.
and everything. And then I just hear some guys that are in the same market than me and they crush it. And I'm like, it must be something wrong about me, about what I've done. And I've already spent so much time. So let me at least try to do it properly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like I ran out of excuses, and the last thing I could do is invest in the mentor. I've already invested in mentors before, but that wasn't exactly what I was doing. They weren't the best mentors. You know, the thing about mentors, you got to find the good ones, you know, to be able to. So I probably didn't have the best track record with mentors.
Yeah.
That's why I was a little skeptical. I knew the value, but I didn't find a good one. And then I heard about you, and like I knew someone that worked with you and everything. And I was just like, okay, let's give it a last shot. And it was a lot of money. So honestly, that was a big thing.
Yep.
But I remember like the guy that referred me to your program, I think he doubled his revenue or something like that in the space of not 1 or 2 months or something like that, something crazy.
Yeah, it was like 30 days.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, like now I gotta do it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And like, I agree with you, man. Like, the tough thing is in this space, it's the equivalent of like the dating market. Most people are just kind of idiots. And like, especially in the info space, people claim they do shit and they don't actually do it. And then you get burnt a few times and you're like, fuck. Yes. And then honestly, that's what holds a lot of people back from actually investing in themselves, because they think everybody's just gypping everyone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Getting burnt in the past, you know, because I invested like two different managers before and they were very general, you know, so I didn't really get the kind of like very specific and technical stuff that you have in your program that really is the thing that I needed, all the SOPs and everything. Like I didn't get any of that. So yeah.
And what do you think, if you were to nail it down to, you know, 2 or 3 things? Because I think a big thing that holds people back is, and I was just on a call with Sam and Hugo, who just hit 125K a month as well. We're doing a call similar to this. And they said something very similar where, you know, it's like when you invest in a program, you invest for the information, but you also invest for the external accountability.
Absolutely.
And just having the fire under your ass and being around people that make you feel poor, to be honest, or making you feel like you don't have as much as you should. I think that's very healthy in the short term for like, if you don't already have 5, 10, 20, $50 million liquid, you want to be in a network like that where you look at people and go, fuck, I've got a long way up the ladder to go. I'm a small fish here. I need to move faster. And it's like, when you put that money down, not only are you going to pay for the speed for other people that have already done it, but I find that for me, I'm paying for the accountability that's also, to a sense, showing myself I'm serious about this goal.
Yeah.
It's like I pay down and go, this is my tuition that I will commit to hitting this goal.
Absolutely. And like I feel like right now where I get the most value from is like on the weekly calls, you know. I don't always go on them, but I listen to all of them, you know, like in replay at the gym and everything. And just like knowing that I'm like a group and I understand how people think, like as you mentioned, like being around this kind of people for like accountability is super cool, but also seeing and like overwhelming yourself, like and understanding how people think at a high level, that really helps. For me, I hear you talk so much on this call that I started to understand how you think. So when I face a problem in my business, I'm more I kind of have your voice in my head. Spend more.
Yeah. No, it's so true, man. It's like, it's funny, like what I found with every like mastermind, mentorship, one-on-one coaching that I've ever invested in, probably the best thing I get isn't even like a direct quantifiable, like this SOP, this connection. It's like just understanding how other people that have achieved the goal I want to achieve think like. And you can't like SOP that. It's like you just be around them and you start to understand, oh, they look at problems in this way and this is how they act. Let me embody that and surely I'll be on the path to achieving that result far quicker. Like an example of that for me was I recently invested in Nero Knowledge as an example, who was like mindset, mental, all of this stuff. And one thing that I took away from him is just I paid a lot of money to have the accountability of working less to think more so I could think bigger. Mm-hmm. And it's like the biggest thing I took away from him is he has no attachment to the amount of hours he puts in. And it made me realize that I need to detach from the work I do and just, even though I delegate a lot, delegate way more. Literally look at my entire checklist every day and go, what is the laziest way I can achieve this outcome so I can have more time to think? And that changes at every level, right? When you're like 0 to 50, you're doing the complete opposite. It's like, I have to get this done. I have to grit my teeth. This is going to suck. I'm going to eat glass.
Yes, absolutely. And for me, that's really like my goal for like this year, to like obviously hit like around 150K a month at least. And just to get an operation manager so I can really free up my time, because I do other stuff on the side and like passion projects, you know, so it takes a lot of time. And yeah, like as you said, you know, you just gotta delegate everything. Otherwise you have a high paying job.
Yeah, I completely agree. And to wrap this up, so for context, I know you came in a while ago, the price has probably changed. We have 2 programs. We have Launch and Land for beginners, 0 to like 20, which is 5K. We have License and Scale, that's now 20K. People get on those calls, and I see some of them. They're even doing like 50, 60K a month, and they shit their pants. Like, oh my God, it's 20K. Every other program I've been in is like 7. For you specifically, because it wasn't cheap for you by any means at all. What would you say now, reflecting back on how much you paid, in terms of what you got out of it? Was it worth it, and why?
It's difficult because I feel like the people watching, I'm gonna give the same answer they heard, and that's not gonna be a satisfying answer for them. But I feel like you just gotta pull the trigger, you know. If in your heart you know that you would get value from it, and you should know, like if Cameron does something similar to what you want to do, if he's built a business that's very similar to the one you want to build. I personally haven't had a mentor who's helped me more. I know it's scary, but and what's the worst case scenario? It doesn't work, whatever, you know. But you got to pull the trigger in the end, because yeah, you either buy you learn with time or money, and it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, but all the people that I know in my circle that really grew their business a lot, they've all been investing in some type of mentor.
Yeah.
Here we're not trying to reinvent the wheel, you know. We're not like Elon Musk trying to come up with something very innovative, you know. We're trying to do like a business model that's proven and that people have done like many times again. So like just the smartest way to do it is to model people who done it before. So yeah, just like figure out where to get the money, invest it. Just make sure you're not gonna be homeless in the same time, and you'll
Yeah, we don't want those people.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny as well. My closers get hit with that objection all the time, which is like, oh, you know, it's too expensive. I always tell my closers, I'm like, well, expensive compared to what? If we just take your close rate from 20% to 30%, and you're signing 10 deals a month instead of 7, and they're paying you an MRR, where you're going to immediately make an ROI on this program alone over the span of the first 3 months, not factoring in whatever else benefit you're going to receive after that.
Yes.
That's the way I look at every investment now. Like, I just paid $50,000 for 10 fucking calls to work on my mentality and my belief system. And like, how can I quantify that? That's a lot of money. But like, I'm like, a lot of money compared to what? Because if I just take what I learn here and I make a decision that allows me to close 2 or 3 extra clients, then I immediately make my money back.
Yes.
So when you look at investments through that lens, it's like everything makes sense. That's the way I look at masterminds as well. I go to any mastermind that's within like a 50-mile vicinity. I don't care what it is, whatever industry it's in, I'll go. And it might be like 3, 5, 10K. And I'm like, well, if I just get one connection from this that helps me with something in my business, it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. I think for me, like the only 2 things that could have held me back is just fear, or like, you know, having been burnt in the past, or like not having like, you know, real value from a mentor before. But you just got to overcome those 2, you know, fear. And even if you just got a mentor before and it wasn't what you were looking for, it's like a relationship, you know. It's not because you have one that the next one's going to be good. So you have to take a leap of faith.
Yeah.
And there's no other way. The other way is just not the smart way. So yeah.
Cool, man. Well, Theo, I appreciate you hopping on. Let's get to 150 ASAP. And let's get it, brother. See you soon.
Cheers. Thanks you.